tropic heat, they laughed like he was strange. But Phil carved thrones from swamp water, raised a kingdom from the bay. Bradley lit the torch on fire, robs the mooner on opening day. Exhibition thunder. Hamlick first pick drowning, learning how to skate with fear. Ciccarelli throwing sparks, you felt the crash from the top tier. No crown, just Phil's wild fight, turning blistered heat to frozen nights. Welcome to the Ice Palace. Phil's storm, Phil's raw, Phil's malice, where Bradley bled for every goal and Ciccarelli carved his soul. In the Ice Palace, we break glass, we burn alive, strike blue, swing hard, let the lightning never die. Darren Puffer grinding bones kept the kingdom still afloat. Wendell Young with bruised up pride, swallowing pucks down his throat. Chris Grattan rumbling through bodies, Roman Hamlick staking lines, robs the mooner, killing penalties, blue collar hero of the times. Fast forward flames, point flies like broken circuits on the wire. Kucherov drips poison passes, stab cuts loads the one-timer fire. Headman skates like iron statues, towering shadow in the light. Facey stands like a concrete wall, swallowing hurricanes at night. From battered roots to kings of ice, Phil's madness made this paradise. Welcome to the Ice Palace, Phil Storm.
Welcome to We, not Thunder. They call me Shooter. I call him Schooly. And I'll tell you what, we're at least going to show up tonight for the Game 5 post game because
Someone needs to.
somebody's got to show up. Wow. Bolts lose 3-2 Game 5 at home. A crucial game where you need to win. And you cannot afford to go back to Montreal and let them have a chance to win the series in their barn. And we play, once again, our worst game of the playoffs. I think it's the worst game of the season we played. We couldn't pass the puck. When we did pass the puck on a player's stick, they couldn't handle it. We had guys falling down without anybody around them. We whiffed on shots. We whiffed on passes. I mean, it's Game 5 of the playoffs, and we look like we're in Game 1 of the fucking preseason. Unbelievable. Ryan McDonough, love the guy. Most experienced player probably on our roster. Probably his worst game he's ever played in the playoffs. Nikita Kucherov. I know people are going to pile on him in the comments. And you got to take the bad with the good with Nikita Kucherov. But my God, what an awful performance. And not only are we losing to the Canadians, which I do feel like we're a more talented team, but we're losing to their worst players. They put in Brandon Gallagher, which is laughable. And the guy scores a goal in 3 minutes. It was Game 2 was their fourth line that killed us. This game, their third line killed us. Meanwhile, the only one that's ever showed up in our third and fourth line is Dominic James. Gets on the score sheet, scores his first playoff goal. Schooly, I need to stop talking.
I thought you forgot I was here for a minute.
I need to stop talking to take a drink of my stiff drink I have here.
What's funny, the one thing is we talked about it with Jay last game, was that I said Dominic James was flying and that he's going to end up getting a goal, and he gets a goal. We did see at the beginning of the game, Paul was out due to illness, so you had Geeky in. I've made no mistake that I'm not a fan of Geeky. Don't think Geeky should have been in.
He had one good play. He made one good play, had a turnover. We had a scoring chance. In this game, that was a memorable moment. We'll break down the whole ridiculous.
Destu was game time decision, so I think Destu is going to end up playing in Montreal. I think he breaks the lineup since he was a game time decision tonight. I gotta imagine that he plays in Montreal on Friday, and then they just can't figure it out. I know you say it looked like preseason game. I've seen it posted in Thunderbolts and stuff, but this is a number 2 and a number 3 team, same exact points. This is the kind of series you are supposed to have between a number 2 and a number 3 seed. This is why we are complaining how these playoff formats suck, because you should not have a number 2 and a number 3 playing each other in the first round.
We wouldn't have beat the fucking who's the worst team in the league. We wouldn't beat the worst team in the league tonight. Are you kidding me?
We might have. We might have.
Well, yeah. I mean, the crazy part is we were still in it till the end. Like,
Yeah.
we shouldn't have been. We had no business. I think Vasi. I mean, in overall, the defense played well. They shut down their first line again. But what? I mean, who the fuck cares if you're shutting down the first line if you can't shut down the third or fourth? We got a call.
I hear.
The phone lines are open. Hey, we got a caller. What's who are you and where are you calling from?
You know I'm right.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Listen.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves.
Again. Yep.
We beat our fucking selves, man. That's what happened. I've never seen us beat ourselves in a game. Game 5, 2-2. I don't know what to say. You get where I'm going?
Yeah. Something's got to happen with this team. I mean, it's not over. It's not over till it's over, but something's got to change on this team if we can't get out of the first round.
And I'm sorry to jump the gun. If let's say it is over, I don't know what else to do. That's 4 years in a row. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. And
What to say? I mean, we did a retool 2 years ago when Sergachev and Stamkos let him go. I can understand that. I can understand changing up the style, but what the fuck was that tonight, man?
Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. I saw your comment. No, we didn't go to the game. To be honest with you, like, you're looking at two guys that probably spend more money than anyone else out there, or as much as anyone else out there on this team. And I said this postseason,
for that.
I'm not going. Why should I go out there and watch these guys lay a fucking egg in our arena in the playoffs? I'm conditioned.
That's another thing I don't understand. I don't understand this whole playoff stuff. This is just, it's gotten to a point where it's just mind-boggling. It's gotten to a point where it hit a wall, and it's fucking mind-blowing. It's just...
Here's the thing, though. Every single team that's in the playoffs, their fans also are like our fans and believe that they should win a playoff. The end of the day, only one team can win this playoff. For some reason, we had the matchups we wanted today, and it was not the ones that should be. So we're going to go into Montreal, see how they're going to play us. Game 6, we are one of the best teams in the league on the road. We did split 1-1 in Montreal. So, it isn't necessarily over. If they play like tonight, it could be. But really, that third goal, was that Vasi's fault? Was that an easy goal that Vasi let in?
That's another thing.
This could still be a 2-2 game into overtime. So as much as we want to say the bad passing, the whiff shots, the no shots, 10 minutes with no shots, how about it would still be 2-2 overtime if Vasi didn't let the one in. So
I think we could have pulled it out. I think we could have pulled it out. But like I said, we gave them that. Montreal didn't win that. We handed them the win. We handed them that W. And today, probably was one of the most important Lightning games in, like, I don't know when. I mean, I don't remember the last time we were at this kind of level, maybe 2002. And this is how you play? You take the game and you give it to them?
Yeah.
I hit a wall.
The bottom line is, I don't know if you watched on ESPN, but crapped all over this
I don't watch that shit. That's the stupid network. You know, listen, you want to dumb down your sports intelligence? Watch that channel. I don't watch a clip of that shit. I keep it on the internet.
That was my only option tonight, and I wanted to turn it down and put on the radio, but no, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to hear the announcers talk about how bad they played nonstop, how quiet
they kind of deserve it with how they look.
And,
they kind of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, how quiet the arena is, and I'm debating whether, do you blame the fans or do you blame on? There's nothing to freaking cheer for.
Listen, I've always said we suck. At the very beginning of the game is the loudest you will hear the whole playoff game. You will not hear it that loud ever again after that hype video. And then when they first come out, it will never be the same rowdy crowd. And I don't know why. Me and you have sat together. If we cheer, after 3 times they stop. Let's go Bolts, let's go Lightning. Any of those cheers, you get 3 in, and then everybody stops. It is... And then do any negative ones because Tampa fans are too nice and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible.
I also have a theory on the playoff fans. I think it's different fans.
Big Rig 14, why would you cheer and get loud for the crap performance? To be loud and to bring the team and to let the team know you're behind them.
Yeah, you got to make some noise to try to get, that 12th man effect like they call it in football. But I still think, I wonder how many people tonight's game or game 1 or 2 where it was their first game of the season. Like you with the prices of how expensive playoff tickets are, you get wealthier people that aren't as big of fans as the people that are watching and listening to this.
Oh man, that reminds me of the Bucks games back in 1998. When they had old Tampa State in the last year, man, that those fans are crazy. That last,
I know about 8 people that have their seats down in the lower ball during the regular season, and they were priced out for the playoffs. So they either win up top or they didn't get the playoffs because they got priced out. I have my tickets. We did not go to the game. You know what? We didn't go to the game in game 2 when we won either. I did go to game 1 and we lost. Me and him both were not at game 2 and we won game 2. We obviously weren't at game 3. When we lost game 4, I was at the watch party.
All right. Well, hey, any last comments? We'll let you go. You are definitely right tonight.
No, I'm going to say this too. This whole coming back thing that they're doing, this isn't going to work. I don't know. I don't know why people think this is going to work. They think they're going to really go right to the finals doing this stuff. This whole being down by 2, then coming back thing, it's not going to work, man. Also, and I want to say this too. I want to say this. This is big too. They missed Holmberg. They need the Hounds line. The Holmberg, Gergensen, Gordon.
They need to steer back.
They need their captain. They need Nick Ball. It doesn't matter. You got to win with the guys.
But that Hounds line was Cooper's favorite weapon. And as soon as Holmberg got injured, I think that just fucked up everything, man. Yeah. It's just I don't know what to do from here, man. I don't know what to do here, and I don't want. I deep down inside, I don't want Cooper to go. I don't want him to go.
He's not going to go anywhere.
You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, I hope not. I hope not. And if he does, and I'll tell you this: if he does, like 80% of the NHL will be lined up to try to get him. You watch.
Oh yeah, he'll get a job immediately. He'll do whatever he wants. Actually, if he wants to go hang out on TNT for a year, he can do that. If he wants to go fishing for a year, he can do that. I'll tell you what, I'm not saying get rid of Cooper, and it's not going to happen, but you bring in John Tortorella to coach the playoffs. I feel like this team doesn't show up like they did tonight. There's no fucking way.
But he's not a long-term coach, Torres.
No, just get him for the playoffs. Although it's not working out that great for the
Nice.
Knights, tied up. They got
I keep forgetting he's over there.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting he's over there.
All right. Well, hey.
All right, guys. I'll let you go.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
hopefully you can call back Friday, and hopefully we're looking forward to a Game 7. But at this point, that bright light behind me is getting a little bit dimmer. But thanks for calling.
Yeah, no. All right. Take care, guys.
All right. If anyone else wants to call, phone line.
I see a lot of the comments about Kucherov. Listen, Kucherov's never been a playoff person. He has disappeared every single year.
Since we've been to the Cup Finals, he has, but he had really good playoffs. He should have won Conn Smythe at least one of those years.
This is the game plan for anybody that faces us, is to hold Cooch down, hold Cooch down, hold Cooch down. And that is what they're doing. They are all over him. That he is not getting anything. You know, they got to find that person that's been Hagel. Hagel's been the one that's been let loose, but now they're going to defend him too.
Yeah, it's just super frustrating with how well we know this team can play. And just going back to the beginning of this year, they were unbeatable, and we had the same injuries, not the same injuries, but different injuries, and we were still winning games. And I don't know, these guys just don't know how to win in the playoffs. And we were talking about it right before we jumped on. Like, what makes you think, and I'll ask this to the chat, what makes you think that the team you've watched this series has a chance to win a Stanley Cup this year? I want to know. I want that positivity of what you think or what you're seeing that I'm not on how this team will win a Stanley Cup, because the 5 games I've seen, no fucking chance. We got a caller here. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Craig, I'm calling from Vegas. How you guys doing?
Craig in Vegas. Can you send Tortorella to coach Game 6, please?
I'll write up to Summerlin tomorrow and see what I can do.
Thank you.
I'm dumbfounded on a team that on a Game 5 and a 2-2 series doesn't have like their hair on fire coming out of the tunnel tonight. They didn't have any jam in the first period. I don't know, and that's not on the coaching. That's on the core of this team. You got to come out with your hair on fire tonight, and they did. There was a lot of passengers. I listened to Phil for quite a while on the radio tonight. He was all over Kucherov. Kucherov was not moving his feet at all. He was on him in the entire second period to move his feet. He never moved. He just stuck to the boards. I don't get it, but I think changes have to come if this continues, and I don't see it going well Friday night, especially if they don't score first 2. There's not a Quebec-born referee that's going to give us any benefit of the doubt on Friday night, and I'm sure the league wants to keep Montreal engaged without Toronto in the playoffs right now too. So there's so many deficiencies that we saw that you didn't need that much to address it, and I think a lot of this goes on JVB. And I'll give you a comparison move. The face-off circle, we saw it tonight. We saw it how many times this year? It's just abysmal, right? It's so bad. And I go back to listen, I was at the first game in Expo Hall. I go way back. I'm an old guy. But all you had to pick up was a guy like a Nate Thompson, a third line, a fourth line guy who could get you 51, 52% in the circle. The only move we made was Corey Perry. We gave up a second-round pick. The Tanner Jeannot trade didn't work out, too. I thought he could have done more at the deadline with the East being so wide open that he just didn't help this. The key deficiency was with the center in the face-off circle. I understand they're missing guys in the D, and I'm okay with the D core. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's great. I understand Hedman at the time was playing a little bit, so you didn't need to make that big of a move. But at this point, with Hedman, do they have to do like they did here in Vegas and kind of force him into a retirement like they did with Petro and say, you know what, you're going to get your money, but we need the cap space if we're going to reinvest in this core or get some guys that want to win again, because I just think there's too many passengers out there. But do you feel JVB failed at the deadline with this team?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you said it. The face-offs in this game was an embarrassing stat. And you heard it over and over again on ESPN. ESPN, any chance they could get to say something bad about the Lightning, and rightfully so. You play like shit. All they're doing is commentating on the game we watched, right? But listen to this stat. 17 for 50 on face-offs. Nick Paul being out did not help. Somebody's got to win a fucking face-off. I mean, no. And by the way, that's with like 3 huge wins at the end of the game, because when he pulled
Cirelli,
when he pulled Vasi before they won the face-off, like they dropped the puck with Vasi out. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Does he not know we're not winning face-offs? And then these guys won. Cirelli wins too.
The only time I felt comfortable, the only time I felt comfortable with them pulling was if it had to be on Cirelli's strong side, because point was hit was less than 50%. Cirelli was the only one that was close to. Well, he was 51, 52%, and everybody else was just abysmal. And I just can't understand how you put together a team in the playoffs that can't win a face-off when there's, you think about guys like O'Reilly and Nashville, like that's just what they do. I mean, you didn't need someone that high price of a guy. You just had to find a guy on a third or fourth line throughout the league that could just win you a face-off when you need it, and all you do is get on, get off the ice too. But I don't want to get rid of Cooper, because, like I said, I think everybody in the league would do it. I don't think it's on him. I think he's earned enough too. But my fear is JVB with these trades. The Getzel trade worked out. I thought, I don't know if he did enough to get Stamkos back, because the team was just dying for a right-handed shot. The Bjorkstrand trade is an absolute disaster. I mean, yes, he's played well, the last 2 games. But listen, at $5.5 million, who was a healthy scratch in the playoffs and at the end of the year, and he was the key piece in the Gore trade. It wasn't so much Yanni; it was getting that right-hand back shot. And maybe he's hurt from last year and he'll never recover. But I think he's been a bust as well too. But I don't understand not having the jam tonight, not having the home crowd. And I can't blame you guys for not going. I understand where you're coming from, because this is just.
Well, I didn't go because I was driving home from Jacksonville for work purposes. So that is literally, I walked in my door at the beginning of the third period. So that is the reason I did not go. But I do have one question for both of you. Has Marty St. Louis outcoached Coop in this round? I think so.
Go ahead, Craig.
I do think so at times. Yeah, I do think so, because I've seen, was it tonight in the third period after a timeout, was the Geeky line was out there? I've seen the overtime game in Montreal with Sauburn starting the fourth line in the overtime. I didn't understand, like, especially after a TV timeout, we're going with Perry and Geeky out there. I mean, you're down a goal. Like, what are we doing here? And especially because their third and fourth line is what's killing us.
Someone commented about that they're not really giving Radish. They weren't giving him the puck tonight, but they have pointed out on several of the broadcasts, and if you look, they are shadowing Radish. They are not giving him anything, and the problem is if Radish shoots and they block, it's going to start heading the other way towards center ice. And for moving forward versus a standing still defenseman, they're going to have that breakaway going the other way. So with the way they are playing their guys up on Radish, right now that big old shot is not really pleasable if they're playing up on him like they are.
Yeah, they're kind of shutting him
Yeah,
down.
and then the other thing too is for all the glory he's given us, Vasilevsky, he was terrible tonight. It was absolutely awful. You can't allow that goal in the beginning of the third. I thought the first goal was his fault too. Puck comes off the board, just grab it. Just you saw where was side. Just jump on the puck. We'll get the face off and we'll see what happens from there.
I think on that
the
first
Kirby Doc.
one, I think Chernak was in his way, and Chernak and McDonough
Yeah.
both just standing there on the side of the net, standing there while their worst player who gets in the game just walks in and grabs a rebound and has an open net basically to shoot it on.
And McDonough and him had issues in the second period where he almost gave the puck up, where he was like, Bassey left the puck for McDonough. McDonough didn't go get it,
So
and then it almost cost him in the late second too.
I did come up with a theory towards the end of the game based on McDonough maybe playing the worst game of his career, Cooch looking like a Pee Wee hockey player out there tonight. I mean, we heard Nick Paul was out because he's sick. Is it possible? Like half these guys have the flu? Because they sure fucking played like it.
And he practiced today. So at practice this morning, he was expected to go. So it was something between practice and then. And then the other thing I want to think of is, why are we not seeing interviews with Vassy? Why are they not holding Vassy accountable for these games? You saw the Boston literally hung Swayman out, and he came out with a good interview and then showed up last night against Buffalo. So I don't understand why we're not getting this questions to Vassy, like, how did you let that third go? What happened? None of these goals, they have not had any questions on Vassy on, what happened with this goal, what happened with this goal. I think you need to hold these guys accountable. I'm sure they're doing it in the locker room.
I thought game one he was awful too, because he overplayed the angle too many times. Like, I think the first shot of the series, he way overplayed the short side. Far side was so far, and the guy just missed it. But you could see him overplaying angles even in the game one. So it's great that he's making the spectacular saves on these breakaways, but it's just the everyday save you need, especially in the beginning of that third period. That puck just can't go in off your glove in that crucial a game. You just can't misplay that puck.
Like I see every year, you don't see Cooch and you don't see Vassy unless we win. That's the only time we ever hear from them. But instead, we get the same players, and I know the players don't want to ruffle, but, why don't you go ask Vassy? Why don't you ask Cooch where he's been? Why don't you, like tonight, I see the first interview tonight is Corey Perry. Why do you want to interview Corey fucking Perry? He's not going to factor in on any kind of win or anything. Why do you put Corey out? Why do you put Corey Perry out there? Get Vassy, get Cooch in there, and make them answer these questions. Not wait until the season's over. Not wait until we win a series.
To your point, Corey Perry, 6 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yeah. Well, why is he getting interviewed? What did you see on the bench, Corey?
Crazy.
A shit show. Thanks.
And that was a second round pick.
Yeah.
That was.
We gave up for him.
It would have been nice, like you said at the beginning. It would have been nice to spend a second round pick on somebody that could win a face-off. I mean, and we talked about it. We try to have Eric Erlinson on before the trade deadline every year, and we did this year. And that's what we talked about. If we see him doing anything, it's bringing a guy, even if it's bringing back, since that's been the trend lately, bringing back the old bolts, Luke Glendening. Luke Glendening's team didn't make the playoffs. Sat on the fourth line for the Devils all season long. All the guy does now is win faceoffs.
Wasn't he traded at the deadline? Didn't he play? Isn't he playing now?
I thought he was on the Devils. I don't know if he got traded, but hey, man, we'll let you go. We'll open up the phone lines. Hopefully, we'll see.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, keep up the good work.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Take care.
Yeah, he's playing for the Flyers. I was gonna say he won faceoffs tonight for the Flyers and took a penalty.
Flyers look like they're going to make a little further than we are.
They hit overtime tonight.
Oh, they're in overtime. I think that's a 0-0 game. Yeah. So, by the way, I will give out a shirt to the best commenter in the chat, which is going to be a doozy tonight. But yeah, I mean, that was a really good point. That the face-offs.
So here was Corey Perry's comments. We didn't get the job done. We pushed, but it just wasn't there. It's frustrating in our building, but luckily there's a game 6.
Luckily, there's a game 6. I mean, how many times are you just going to wait and wait? It's like most of the games this series. We go down, and we're chasing the game the entire time. And second period, Dominic James scores that huge goal. 11 seconds later, you let a third liner walk right in and take the lead again. Like, you don't win Stanley Cups by doing that kind of bullshit and playing that bad.
What I don't understand is how could they not? They just had a hell of a win. The first regulation win of this series, the hit of the series, the one of the best performances by Hagel and the team altogether, and you don't come out with that kind of energy. From the very beginning of this game, they did not have the energy.
No, I mean, you had the Montreal Canadiens right where you wanted them. You had all the momentum, and I mean,
and Frosty says we could never come back from a late. We came back from 2 down just 3 nights ago.
Yeah, we did.
Simmer down.
All right, I think we got Jesse on the line. Jesse, what did we just fucking watch in the most important game of the season so far?
I mean, we were at the game, and it just seemed like we were just really slow, flat-footed. Didn't seem like we had any urgency to go after the puck. It didn't matter who it was. It just seemed like everybody just like kind of just half-assed it. You know, the puck's, in the corner, and no one's really going after it, and Canadians just pick it up. You know, they just seemed like they had more pep in their step, and they had a lot of, I felt like their goals were kind of BS too, except for like one of them, but what are you going to do?
None of their goals this whole series have been that great of goals, but here's the thing. They don't have to be great goals. I don't understand why the Lightning do not throw pucks on net, get traffic in front, get deflections. We don't score those goals anymore. We don't even try. We pass until eventually maybe we pass it in or we get a wide open shot on net. And I mean, am I wrong when we were winning Stanley Cups a couple years ago and making it to the Cup Finals? Am I wrong to say we were getting deflections? We were scoring all kinds of goals.
Yeah, and
even like during the power play, we weren't really doing anything.
So, and Perry on that Texier goal, obviously, they know everybody is blaming Vassy because Perry on the Texier goal that beat Vassy, it's not on him. It's not on him. He's done a lot of good things for this team this year. It's not on him. It's on the guys in front of him.
It's a bad line change too, which can't happen. I mean, at least we're not going to sit here. I mean, if Montreal
he said we have to win. We have to drag them back here for Game 7. And then Cooper on the 1-0 goal. It was the fourth shift of the game. Can't sit here and say it was tough bounce. We just sat there and watched, got beat to the net, and it's 1-0. It's a tough way to start, there's no doubt. But by no means is that the game. But especially in these tight check-in, low-scoring games, you can't be given freebies, and I thought we gave up a freebie there.
Give up a couple of freebies. Anything else, Jesse? Because we got a special guest popping on here.
I just think that we need to start shooting the puck no matter where we're at. Too much passing, just even on the power play and off the power play. Just I don't know why they just got to keep everything so fancy. Because if you look at any other games that are on right now, I've watched a couple other teams playing, and when they're on the power play, they just shoot it. Doesn't matter where they're at, and they score goals. So
it wasn't
simple as that.
We had 3 power plays. First one, I believe, was 1 shot. Second one, 0 shots. Third one, 5 shots. Finally, took them 3 to learn.
and then one shot in 10 minutes in the third period.
Yeah, and it's kind of deflated if you look at the third period shot numbers and the overall shot numbers, because they were finally shooting with 2 minutes left with the goalie pulled. Too little, too late. So,
Yes, sir.
well, hey, man, Friday might be it. Backs against the walls. I won't count these guys out until they're out. I expect a different team to show up. If we see the same bullshit we saw tonight, they've got to make some major changes. Well, we're done, but they've got to make some major changes.
Exactly.
Got to. All right, man. Hey, we appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll hear you Friday night with some good.
Go Bolts.
Not that your call was bad.
Hopefully.
All right, man.
See ya.
Take care. All right, we got a man in the green room. Let's bring him on. The great Peter Blake. Peter.
Yeah.
Did you watch this monstrosity of an almost must-win game?
I did, and I thought, what were the Lightning doing? I mean, it seems like, again, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? A slow start that's really plagued them. It's plagued them the last month. They didn't come out with any juice, right? I mean, you got John Gruden in the building, and you don't come out with any juice at this point. And then it goes back to, the 6-on-4 at the end of the game where they have some urgency, and they're still trying to be a little bit too cute with the puck. Shoot the puck. I know it's simplistic at the end of the day, and I'm disappointed because, guys, I took off from the sports web tonight to watch the Lightning and to watch the Magic, and guess what? The Magic lost, so they get a chance to close out the Pistons in Orlando on Friday. The Lightning play on Friday against Montreal, so I'll be watching both games. And the Rays lost today, so not much to write home about if you're a Tampa Bay sports fan, but I still believe in this team at the end of the day. I just feel like they do this too many times, guys, where it's, they turn it on, they turn it off, they need to turn it on more, especially getting off to a great start. And if they get off to a bad start, once again, and they lose against Montreal, and I don't want to say they're going to be eliminated again, but if they are, as much as I hate to say it, there probably going to be some changes that are going to be made, some big time wholesale changes, because they've invested a lot of money, a lot of draft capital in what this team is right now, and it's just not getting done. And I don't know what it is. I actually know what it is. It's the slow starts. It's lack of superstars. Where is Nikita Kucherov at this point when you need him to step up? And where's the urgency, especially in that third period? You're at home. You have home ice. You're in your own barn. It's the 480th sellout at this point there at Benchmark, and you don't get a shot for 9 minutes. I mean, it's just inexcusable at this point, guys.
I do need to say the night started off with Sonia's 500th national anthem singing, so we do got to give her credit. She's a great friend of the show. Shout out to Sonia. She's usually one of our very first guests of the season. She did her 500th, but you had everybody in the building today. You mentioned John Gruden. We had a lot of the Bucks there. We had Vo Williams there. We had Titus O'Neil there. We had so many people in the building there. It was horrible what they did. Real quick, this is what Point said in his post-game interview. We need other guys to score, and I haven't been able to do it. It is frustrating, but you've just got to keep doing the right thing and working hard. But, yeah, we're going to need myself and other guys to step up. Sure. Can I say this is the first time they have actually put Point in the hot seat.
Hold on, caller. Schooley's making a great point here, I think.
This is the first time, and I just said I really think they needed to go after Vasi, go after Cooch, make them they hide these two superstars and don't ever let anybody interview them during the playoffs. And same with Point. And finally they're allowing these people. I really wish they did Vasi. But right before you came on, they did Corey Perry. Corey Perry did 6 minutes on the ice today. Why are you interviewing the oldest man, the biggest jinx, and only plays 6 minutes? Why are you interviewing him and saying, what happened in this game. He can tell you what happened on the bench and how many people smelled smelling salts. Apparently nobody, because nobody was awake for this game. So you need to let these people get to Vasi. You got to stop hiding these people. Marty St. Louis ain't keeping any of his players from being interviewed. They're all available for interview. All of his big guys, all of his little guys. We need to stop protecting these guys and make them answer to these things. Because I think as long as you're not making Vasi think about it, you're not making Cooch, and you're not saying, hey, what did you do on that shot? What was your advantage on that shot? Then he's not gonna. It's just another goal.
All right. So
I don't want to hear their shot.
People to interview. Okay, you're on this rant about, and you're not wrong, because listen, Cooper's got to go out there after every game. So why shouldn't some of these guys that are not performing? All right, caller, who are you and where are you calling from?
Oh, hi guys. Sorry for the interruption earlier. I apologize. My name is Russ. I'm from Naples, Florida. Well, actually, I'm in Fort Myers right now. But I agree with everything you guys have been saying, but especially with shoot the damn puck. And I have to say, and I don't mean to be an alarmist here because, it's game 6 coming up, but I'm just curious, if we don't, break the levy, what are we doing with all of our players? Because we got about $20 million in capital who just aren't really doing a lot. But I love this team. I will always love this team. But I do get pissed off and I want to throw my phone into the traffic. But at the same time, we need to shoot the puck.
Guess what? Your phone ain't gonna make them shoot the puck, so don't do that.
Over this team.
I know, but you're right. It's not. It's horrible. I personally would rather have ugly goals than beautiful looks.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, again, the more you shoot the puck, the more there's an opportunity, and we've seen that with the opposing team there. The more they shoot the puck, the more good things happen for them. They clean up the garbage, of course, and Vasilevsky, love him, up for the Vezina. He let some soft goals in tonight, especially the last one. It wasn't good, so I don't know. I don't know what what the solution is besides the fact that this is a veteran-laden team. They've done this before, but they can't keep on, having slow starts. At the end of the day, they've got to come out. They've got to have some juice, as we talk about. They got to come out and win faceoffs. I mean, Nick Paul, to me, has got to be back in this lineup at this juncture because he's able to win faceoff. They haven't been able to win faceoffs. They haven't been able to win faceoffs the last couple of years, and he's one of their best faceoff guys. So when you don't have possession of the puck, of course, more times than not, you're going to lose and bad things are going to happen. And let's give the Canadians credit here, guys. I mean, there was no easy passes at this point. There was nothing that was going to come easy for this Lightning team. The Canadians made it very tough for the Lightning tonight.
Peter, right before you came on, I was asking, has Marty St. Louis out-coached John Cooper in this series?
I think to a certain degree he has, and I think it started. I'll tell you what it started. It started when he had the timeout. He figured out something.
And overtime on game 1, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I saw. I love John Cooper, and I'm not ready to say fire him. I'm not going to be like that. But what do you do at this point? There has to be some changes. You have all these superstars. You have these players. I mean, maybe you rush. Do you rush back Hedman? Because I know the announcing crew on ESPN said, well, maybe that's the solution for you guys is rushing back Hedman.
Coop said today that he still on the timetable will not return. I don't.
Yeah. Can I get one?
I don't know if anybody was listening to The Bone this morning, but you can get the app. We're not going to repeat what was said, but if you listen to the Mike Calta show this morning, he says it has been confirmed why Hetty is out, and he announces the reason why Hetty was out, which is something that I had speculated. So I think maybe DeStew coming back next game is going to help them. He was a game time decision today, according to Coop, and then ended up not playing. No. This is Cooper's. I understand that the next game is potential elimination game, but the last game we played in there, if we lose that one, we're down 3-1. So you're really chasing the series. We've had some guys that have been in that building twice now, and they probably have a pretty good feeling of what to expect. How it's going to go, I can't sit here and be sure, but I'll bet we played better than we did tonight. If not, you're going home. You're cleaning out lockers on Monday.
All right. Well, hey, let our caller get his comment in, Scully. This isn't the Thomas School
show. No, it's totally fine, guys. Hey, I love hearing all this. I love it. I'm Irish and Sicilian. I'll speak fast, but I have to say this.
Me too.
Did Julian Breezewall do enough for us at the deadline? Because I have to say this. He's done a lot, and again, Brandon Hagel doing what he's doing. I love Bagel. He's doing everything, but did Julian Breezewall do enough for us? Because personally, I think that if we got Blake Coleman and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, I think that we wouldn't be in these situations that we're in now. He says that he doesn't want rentals. Did you really not want rentals, Julian? Or did nobody want what you were selling because nothing looks really that special about them? Because I hate to say it. I love Braden Point. I swear to God I love him. But he's not been doing that great. And Oliver Bjorkstrand, God bless you. But you are supposed to be known for the super guy, but you have not shown up one bit for our team. And I hate to say it again, which I keep saying that, but I want to see the best of the best on this team. If you want money, go play with Macklin Celebrini on the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, and you might see Darren Radish and you might see Oliver Bjorkstrand playing with them because I think those two are two guys that won't be back. But hey, man, thanks for calling. Give us a score prediction for Friday.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that Scory Perry evens this out yet again. 3-2.
I'll take it. I'll take that all day. Well, hey, man, thanks for calling. Call in on Friday after we get a big Bolts win, please.
You guys got it. Take care.
Bolts. Yeah, that opens up the phone lines. I mean, I don't even know what to talk about. I think we're all just frustrated. We know the talent that's on this team, and what we just watched is just plain old unacceptable. You just can't do that. You just can't. I don't understand how the whole team has their worst game. Because to me, it was Dominic James looked good. Is there anyone else?
Gensel.
He came off the milk carton. He came off the milk carton the last game. I mean, that's what you need your superstars to step up. Let's face it, right? I mean, you're 2-11 in your last 13 home games, which is unacceptable. It's supposed to be home ice advantage, right? You need your superstars to step up. It's not just Hagel. It's not just Gensel. It's Kucherov. It's Point. Those guys got to get started. They got to get running here. You got to change up some lines or make some changes at the end of the day. You got to do something, because if you don't, you're going home. And again, it's disappointing for a lot of Lightning fans. And I know Lightning fans are saying, this is where you kind of blow it up. And I'm not for blowing it up. I love what's going on right now with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I want to see it through, but you keep on getting eliminated in the first round. You can't continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. That's called insanity. So,
well, in Tampa Bay Bucks terminology, it's called the Dungy era.
Right, right. As much as you love that era to a certain degree, you got to a point to where you couldn't get over the top, and you needed another voice, or you needed fire, or you needed to make some changes, whether it was offensively or defensively on this team. And it might be coaching, it may be getting rid of a superstar, it may be getting younger. I still think this team is relatively young, but they have veterans. You guys tell me. You do a great job with this podcast. I watch from afar. I'm on the sports web. They turn it off.
I say the GM.
And they turn it off.
I've made no bones about it. I am not a fan of JBBs.
Right.
And, of course, because he got rid of Stammer. But for other reasons, too. I mean, we've had the Jeannot trade. We've had the Stamkos thing. We've had this offseason here. Well, even the last couple trade deadlines. Gordon Bjorkstrand last year. Then this year we get Corey Perry. Nothing that the team needed. I mean, literally, it was heard it was mentioned that the reason we got Corey Perry is because Coop wanted him for someone in the locker room because of the whole Hedman situation. And so that we had that veteran person in there along with McDonough for the voice. But a lot of these people were here for the Stanley Cups. So they are veterans. I mean, that's what you need right now. You need these veteran players. You need these $8 million. There was a comment from Coop before the game that talked about Brandon Hagel, and basically, I thought appointed him the next captain, which we have been talking about. He said he does not have a letter on his chest at the moment, but he will one day. And I thought that was saying a lot of things going into tonight. Stu, I think, comes back next game, and Crozier sits, and I think we win it.
I don't know if that makes a huge difference. And I will defend JBB. Going into the trade deadline, we couldn't lose a game almost. Like we were unbeatable. So what makes JBB want to overreact and try to get anything else on this team when he's got a team that seems like they can't be beat? But
look at the years we won the cup, we had rental players. We
also had guys that were injured that were coming back, and compared to when we were unstoppable earlier in the season, we're relatively healthy right now. So it's just maddening. It's always going to be that. Is it the players? Is it the GM? Is it the coach? So I guess the question for you that seems to keep coming up in the chat is special teams. Jeff Halpern runs special teams.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
That's it. You were saying after game 2 that you can't blame the coach. The players got to shoot.
Right, but we also always know it's not the players that are going to be let go. It's going to be their coach. You see it in all of sports. It isn't necessarily the coach that isn't doing the job. It's the players not doing the job, but the coaches have to pay for it because the teams aren't getting rid of those players. So I don't think there's any way they could keep Halpern. But every single year we're doing this with one of our coaches. Fire this coach, fire this coach, fire this coach, fire this coach. But no one ever says Cooper. I mean, and that's the funny thing is that why are we always blaming these assistants? Cooper is the head coach. He can over-trump any of these guys on what they are doing. And apparently he's okay with the system that's being played.
And here's a good comment from Norma. Hedman comes back, we might be worse. We might be the worst team.
Yeah. I think the maddening thing here, guys, is the fact that even their first line from Montreal hasn't played up to snuff. It's been the third line that's killed this Lightning team. And I think, maybe the difference between the Cup Lightning teams and now is the depth, right? I mean, I still think they're good, but are they good enough? Are you getting enough scoring and production from those other lines besides your first line? So,
yeah, and look at the Canadians. They're beating us with their bottom 6.
Yep.
It's wild. And I saw a comment earlier. Well, at least last year we lost to the Stanley Cup champs. I wouldn't, if we lose to the Canadians, I wouldn't write them off as going to lose in the next round.
Yeah.
I said Philly just won. I said from the beginning, I think and Philly eliminated Pittsburgh now. I said whoever wins this could be the representative, and I think will be the representative of the Eastern Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals, whether it's Montreal or Tampa. I think whoever wins this series is going to do it.
It's a young team. It's got the look right now. They got the confidence. Now can they put this team away? It's always the toughest game is the final one to put them away. And the Lightning have been, again, they've had their backs against the wall. They've done it throughout this series. I mean, why can't it go Game 7? You got to get it to Game 7 at this point. And what it comes down to is you coming out, having a fast start, not making those mistakes, staying out of the penalty box. They were able to somewhat do that tonight besides the 4-minute minor, which once again, the Lightning and their penalty kill picked them up. So
PK was great. And
Well, it had to be because this is the most penalized team, one of the most, if it's not the most, it's one of the most penalized teams, and it's definitely come back to haunt them. Because when you make those stupid mistakes and you give the Canadians, who are very talented, especially on the power play, they're going to put the biscuit in the basket. But yeah, the penalty kill definitely bailed them out tonight and bailed them out, mostly through the series and mostly through the year. They've had to. So.
By the way, Geeky will sit next game because Paul will be back.
Well,
he was just sick for this game.
Well, I like the point here, though, about playing 11-7 if D'Souza back. I don't know if Crozier really earned himself the spot, that 7th spot, because who do you take out on the forward lines?
Bjorkstrand. You would take out Bjorky.
Bjorkstrand was probably one of our better players.
Better players tonight, yes.
In fact, he was 2 inches away from scoring a goal, hit the crossbar. But again, you gotta deliver. You gotta put the puck in the back of the net. Wow. And then there was one play where he somehow found himself with the puck wide open in front of the goalie and couldn't even get a fucking shot off. Fumbled the puck. We saw guys all over the lineup couldn't handle the puck tonight. It looked like Puck Dynasty Beer League hockey tonight.
Yep, nothing came easy. It was passing all over the place. He had Kucherov with a really good look. I thought he was going to put it in, and he doesn't put it in. So it's just one of those nights. I mean, I'm not ready again to jump off the ship, if you will, but it's tough. It's tough to watch this because you think, again, this team has the momentum after a big-time win on the road. You're coming home to your barn, and once again, you're 2-11 and 13 games at home ice. That is your home ice advantage. You've got a crowd crazy at this point. And I don't care about ESPN. Listen, every national network, it seems like, hates Tampa, and that's fine. That's what every Tampa Bay sports fan has to embrace. You have to embrace the mentality of being the ultimate underdog, whether it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whether it's the Tampa Bay Rays, or it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. No matter how many Stanley Cups you win, the national media is never going to do this. So.
Yeah. Hey, Colin.
A coach?
Where are you calling from?
Tarpon Springs, Florida. A coach can make the difference. Remember when we had, what's his name, Jeff Blashill, and now he's run the Blackhawks into the ground?
He's got 1 year in under his belt.
And the Red Wings. A coach can totally make the difference. I believe that maybe it's time to just part ways with Halpern. I mean, the San Jose Sharks looked at him, evaluated, and decided, no, let's not do this. The San Jose Sharks said no. That's kind of a big statement right there. Well, that's just my opinion. I really don't think Halpern's going to be back next year. I think they're going to have to bring up new guys. Everyone is saying that the coach from the Crunch, Joel something, he might be the next guy to step up. That's all I got to say. Go Bucks and go Bolts.
There you go. I like it. He ended it strong there, yeah.
But Peter, going back to what you were saying about ESPN, the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is this is different from football. You're watching ESPN, you're watching the U.S. broadcast. You flip over to Sportsnet or whatever the game's on in Canada, 100% biased towards the Canadian teams. Like, give us a little something, ESPN, for your American audience. And again, to their defense, calling what they see. I mean, you see a pile of dog shit, you're not going to call it a pile of delicious cake. Thank you for that timely sound effect.
Yep, welcome. There you go. That's what you get here.
And
yes.
I don't blame the fans either. I mean, they kept saying how quiet it was. I mean, I should have counted how many times because it was embarrassing. But to anyone there, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen all over the internet the last 2 weeks, they're comparing these arenas and how loud the arenas are. And the Bell Center's in the top 3 in every single category when they talk about how loud it is. And Benchmark is down at the bottom of the playoff teams that are in the playoffs. And I agree, and I've said it for years, that this arena sits on their hands after the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game. They sit on their hands, and I see people in here saying, well, why are you selling them to Habs fans? Number one, you don't know who you're selling them to if they're on Ticketmaster. The team sells tickets on Ticketmaster. They don't do that block out anymore because of the huge issues that came up. And then I hate to tell you, but Lightning fans are cheap. I mean, and if you go to any of the fairs, any of these craft shows, and you say, hey, do you have any Tampa Bay Lightning stuff? They say no, because they're always too expensive for Lightning fans. And so, they don't want. I literally, I'm not going to say this person's bad or anything, but literally, I had 3 messages today asking if I saw any tickets under $100. No, you're not going to find tickets under $100 for what could be their last home game of the year. You're not going to do that. And guess what? The Habs players, it's cheaper for them to fly down here, go to a game in our building, than it is to go to a game in a Bell Center. Look up those ticket prices at the Bell Center. It is really expensive.
Yeah, and you get a vacation and you get to stay at a nice place for a weekend or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, frustration. Man, what do we even break down? Do you want me to go through what happened in this game? Do we need to tonight?
No.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those games where it's really self-explanatory at this point. But they got up early and they took advantage, and the Lightning were crawled back, and then as soon as they score that tying goal, and this is how you know Montreal wanted it more. They come right back 11 seconds later and score the goal that takes the lead for them. I mean,
that's common for the Lightning. The Lightning's common of giving up that goal right after they get a goal.
Crazy.
Right when they get the momentum that they are so used to just giving it right back.
Crazy. It's nuts. That was the disappointing factor of it. And again, I'm the eternal optimist, so I think they're going to come out Friday with their backs against the wall, and they're going to have to put up a better effort, and they will. And if they don't, then again, we'll talk about it here. We'll talk about it on the Sports Web, and we'll talk about it on your show as always. I'm here for you guys.
Let's stop doing those white towels. Let's stop doing the white towels. I've seen it on Montreal's websites. I've seen it in Tampa fans' websites. Everybody says it's the white flag. Stop doing the white towels. We don't win with those white towels. Give us the Bam Bams. Give us, I don't know. Give us something to clap our hands with. Remember they had those gloves that one year that had the little balls in the middle that was from Spectrum, and you'd clap them together? Yeah. Do some of those. I don't.
Well, the white towel is like waving the white flag at this point, and hopefully the Lightning are doing that. If they get to Game 7, and I think they can, again, got to come out with a better effort, especially with home ice advantage and everything like that. But if anybody can do it, it's the Lightning. They can do it.
You're right. Before I forget here, I'm going to name our first star of the chat because you just made me laugh.
Tom Germano.
Tom Germano message us because you're getting a Freeze the Bay shirt. We need Matt Carl. we needed that kind of comment tonight. Not to say that there weren't some great comments tonight, but I think
1 in 10 with the towels. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Friday. You expect a team to come out with their back against the wall and play their best hockey of the season. I'm sorry, but I expected a team with all the momentum coming home with the chance to go back to Montreal and send them home, going up 3-2 in the series, to come out and win the game. And we came out and laid an egg. So my confidence level on this team back against the wall, show me. I don't think we're going to win Friday. I said it. I don't think we're going to win Friday. Not based on what I saw tonight, not based on what I saw in games 1 through 4 either. We've played like shit. And we've arguably been the better team. But sometimes the better team doesn't win. But how many times are we going to say this? Because I'm pretty sure I said the same thing 2 years ago against the Panthers. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who we lost to in the year before that. And then last year I gave the credit to the Panthers. They stuck it to us. So The backs are against the wall. They showed the stat towards the end of the game here. Let me pull it up. This is the stats with the Montreal Canadiens being up 3-2 in a playoff series. They are 27-3 in those playoff series. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. It's a Dumb and Dumber chance. What are you saying, Mary? Is it Mary Swanson? Is it 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, 1 in a million? And she says 1 in a million, and he goes, so you're saying there's a chance. So there is a chance. You got to play your game. I mean, it's
30 times. It's happening 3. So listen, we know these guys can do it.
Yeah.
It's just like, who's going to show up?
Yeah.
Who's going to show up? We can't just rely on Brandon Hagel, who obviously they game planned against effectively tonight. Somebody else has to do something, and you got to be able to just do the basics of hockey, like the passing, the shooting, the random falling down. Like it was embarrassing tonight. It really was, especially in a game 5 that you got to win.
Nick Paul comes back. You win face-offs. That's the key right there. Win your face-offs. Win face-offs the next game. Control the puck. I think they're going to be
Shoot the fucking puck. Shoot
the
it
puck.
at the net.
Shoot it. Keep on shooting.
Well, here's the craziest stat of the night: 40 shots.
Right.
I don't even think Bjorkstrom's in Friday, Tom.
I do. I think you put Bjorkstrand. Who else are you going to put in? You going to go 11-7? Take him out?
I was going to say, you put in just Stu. Are you taking out Crozier? Or are you leaving him in?
I'd keep Bjorkstrand in. We need somebody that can score some goals, and sometimes he actually does. But he's not on the power play, and that's where he does his damage. So
yeah. Well, listen, Friday night, guys, I'll be here. I'll be here watching. So if you guys want me back on, hopefully we're talking about a win. I'm here for you guys. I love this. This is something different.
yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's lick our wounds here for the next day, and hopefully these guys come back. Hopefully they're healthy and it's not some sort of flu bug going through the locker room, which I'm sure we'll hear about after the series if that's the case. But my God, it just seemed like it is. Like what were we doing tonight? All right, final comments. Schoolie, what do you got for the people out there before we get out of here?
I think we need to get physical again. I think they need to bring that physical that was in game 2. And I think that's the only way they're going to, because Montreal's going to obviously go in there to close it down at home. And I think you're going to have to get physical, and you're going to have to take it to them and take it to the net.
Peter Blake from the Sports Web.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about your superstars, right? Nikita Kucherov, you're a superstar in this league. We know what you can do in the regular season. It's time to do it in the postseason. It's time to step up. Braden Point, it's time to step up. And Andre Vasilevsky, you definitely have to stand on your head. Show us the old Andre Vasilevsky, although I don't think everything has been his fault in this series. But some of the goals tonight, once again, you got to have, again, your superstars step up. You got to get off to a fast start. Hopefully they can do that, gentlemen. Again, the eternally optimistic one here when it comes to Tampa Bay sports. If anybody can do it, the Tampa Bay Lightning can do it, my friends.
Yeah, you can't count this team out until they're out of it. So winning 2 games in a row is not out of the question. We went, what was it, like 20-1 or something like that earlier this season. Mm-hmm. So they gotta find it. Got to find it again, or they're going to be bounced again in the first round. And if that happens, you've got to make some major changes. You can't keep coming to the table with the same people, same players, the same plan, and expect to get over this hump.
Hetty will not be back for this series. Cooper has said it over and over again. Stop. He is not going to be our Lord and Savior. Hetty looks like an old tree standing there. He will not be back this round.
Yeah, he'd probably be more of a liability than anything else.
1-1.
And again, credit to the Canadians. They're doing the things you need to do to win games, especially a tough game 5 on the road. I mean, sure, first line gets shut down, third and fourth line step up and win the game. That's how you win in the playoffs. That's how you win a Game 5 on the road. So it is what it is. A disappointing night for Lightning fans, but it is not over yet. We will be back here Friday, win or lose. If we lose, we're going to be talking a lot of off-season. We're going to look ahead. If we win, we're going to be talking about a massive game on Sunday night in our barn. And my God, it better not look like what we saw tonight, because that was pathetic. Anyway, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys Friday night. This has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it?
That's it.